Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about King Philip. The story of King Philip is an anagram, and it goes, Dumb King Philip came over from Great Spain. Each letter means something, so it stands for domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Before we worry about King Philip and the classification of everything, we need to classify if the organism is a eukaryote or a prokaryote. Each of these groups have very distinct differences, so let's get into it. So prokaryotes have no nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Prokaryotes are also always unicellular, which means they always have only one cell. And prokaryotes are always asexual. On to eukaryotes now. Eukaryotes have a nucleus and have membrane-bound organelles. They can be either unicellular or multicellular, depending on the organelle. And they reproduce sexually. So now we can move on to King Philip. So first things first, to worry about the domain. There are three domains: bacteria, archaea, and eukaryote. Each of these domains have different characteristics about them. Bacteria, for example, are unicellular and prokaryotic. They have a thick, rigid cell wall surrounding all of their organelles, and the cell wall contains peptoglycan. Archaea are also unicellular and prokaryotic. They're typically found in extreme conditions. For example, they're found in volcanic hot springs and brine pools, and they have a different cell wall than bacteria do. The cell wall of archaea lack peptoglycan. Then finally, the domain eukarya. All of these have a nucleus, are eukaryotes. Some examples are protists, fungi, plants, and animals. Next in the story of King Philip comes K, which stands for kingdom. There are 9 kingdoms in total, but we're only going to go into 6 of them. The 6 kingdoms that we are going to be talking about are plants, fungi, bacteria, animalia, protozoa, and archaea, or archaeozoa. So before I explain the characteristics of each kingdom, I'm going to be going over the difference between autotrophs and heterotrophs. First things first, autotrophs are able to make their own food. And heterotrophs are organisms that don't make their own food and have to either absorb the food from other organisms or eat organisms. Okay, so now we're going to go over the characteristics of each kingdom. So first off, we have the bacteria, which is prokaryotic, unicellular because it's prokaryotic, and it can be either autotroph or heterotroph. The next kingdom is archaea or archaeobacteria. This kingdom is also prokaryotic. It falls under the domain archaea. It is unicellular because it is also prokaryotic, and it can be either heterotroph or autotroph. The next kingdom is Protacea. This is the first of our eukaryotic cells. It is multicellular. The protists have a cell wall, and the cell wall uses cellulose. Some of the protists have chloroplasts, which mean they can take energy from the sun and use it as their own. It can also be heterotroph or autotroph. The next kingdom is fungi, or fungi. It is a eukaryotic cell. It has a cell wall. The cell wall is built of chitin or chitin, however you want to pronounce it. It's the same thing. Most of these are multicellular, but some fungi can be single cellular or unicellular. They are heterotrophs. Some examples are mushrooms and yeast. The next kingdom is the plants, or plantae. These are eukaryotes again. They have a cell wall made out of cellulose, and a big characteristic of plants is they all have chloroplasts. These are multicellular organisms, and they are autotrophs. Some examples are mosses and flowering plants, and other plants. Just think of a plant that's a plant, okay? The next kingdom is Animalia, or animals. Animals are eukaryotes. They have no cell wall, they just have a cell membrane. They are multicellular and they're heterotrophs. Some examples are like us or other animals in the animal kingdom, or like sponges, coral even, or some worms. Using everything we just learned, we are going to classify an organism. For this example, we are going to use humans. So first things first, we are eukaryotic because we're multicellular. The domain that we're in is eukarya because again we're multicellular. The kingdom we're in is Animalia. The phylum that we're in is Chordata, which basically means you have a backbone. Everything that has a backbone is stuffed into the phylum Chordata. The class is Mammalia, or mammals. The order that we're in is primate. The family that we're in is hominid. The genus that we're in is Homo. And our species is Homo sapien. Well, that was it for this week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.